Hello, viewers, and welcome to the African Voice. Our handle is f.afric0102. This is a channel that it is determined to bring Africans together. It's a channel that wants to bring hope to Africans. It's a channel that wants to bring Africans to speak with one voice. Please, before we continue, will you please subscribe and share so that it will be easy for us to communicate and discuss, because your views, your comments are welcome so that we can build this channel. I'm your host, I'm Felix. So today, I'm very passionate. I usually very passionate about Africa. That's why I like talking about Africa. And today I want to talk about South Africa. South Africa, if you look at the economic powerhouse of Africa, we have several countries that are really holding the economic muscles of Africa. And these countries are countries like South Africa, Nigeria. These are countries that must be politically stable so that they become financially stable. So that, because we need countries that will be stable financially so that they can come out and try to help these other countries. And this very good example is South Africa. But because of the political dynamics in South Africa, there's a little bit of a problem in terms of, although they are doing a good job, but we expect more than that. So in South Africa, I have some visionary leaders that, according to me, I feel like those people, they are people who are ready to transform South Africa and bring a very big economical change to the South Africans. And this leader is Julius Malema, under the EFF, Economic Freedom Fighters. These people, this political party was formed in 2013, and within a span of 10 to 11 years, they have really made strides in South Africa. Their message to the people is that they want to come and remove the South Africans from that economical bondage. They want to remove Africans from the problem of economy and democracy. That's what they are fighting for. Because South Africa has reached a time that the ANC, according to me, the ANC, the spirit of the ANC started with during the times of Nelson Mandela. That spirit has disappeared. So we are seeing hope in EFF, the Economical Freedom Fighters. They want to bring freedom, economical freedom to the people of South Africa. South Africa is having an election on 29th of May this year. And my hope is, even if Malema does not clinch the presidency, but at least he will have built the EFF to an extent that it will have a say in the parliament of South Africa, to have a lot of legislatures inside that parliament, so that the ruling coalition like the ANC cannot be taking that. They just make policies, their own policies. So we want Julius Malema with the EFF to try and build, and I'm sending a message to the South Africans. Please build Julius Malema. He's a visionary leader. He's a young task, and he has young tasks behind him who are ready to fight for South Africans. We know the problem of South Africans about land. And in Julius Malema's manifesto, it's clear that land will be owned by the state. The state will be the custodian of the land. And those white people who are holding those big farms and they're not using those farms. Those farms must be taken back to the Africans, because there is no white individual who came with the land from wherever he came from Europe to South Africa. They found that land, and that land is for the Africans. Yes, we cannot just tell Africans to go and grab the land, but we need to have a structure in a way that Africans, we cannot be squatters in our own land. People cannot come from outside and come and own land, and us, who our forefathers owned that land, and they were killed, and the land was taken forcefully. And we cannot be told that now it's time for a willing seller and a willing buyer. How can you buy land? How can you buy your own land from the person who took that land from you? It's like a thief has stolen something from you, then that thief sells you that thing back to you. We cannot accept that. And that has been a very big problem for South Africans. And we have a lot of people that are squatters in South Africa. So I believe that if Julius Malema takes this presidency, then he will solve the land problem in South Africa. It's a very technical issue, and it needs a very good measures and policies to be put forward, so that this land, according to him, he's saying this land will be expropriation. There will be expropriation of land without compensation. But according to him, yes, he will not take those lands from these white people just like that. But there are those lands that are not being used, and those people, even maybe they're not staying there. That land needs to be given back to South Africans. They cannot live like squatters forever. Ramaphosa has tried, but according to me, he has not tried better. He's not the best. My message to the South Africans, it's high time that you need to give the EFF a chance to rule that country. We need change in Africa. And there's a wave of change that it's sweeping through Africa. It has started with the Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. They are bringing themselves out of the colonization bondage from France, because they have suffered all these years. Somebody comes to your land, sits there, controls you, controls your economy, he controls your money. You continue living as slaves in another way. We are still being colonized. But if we have leaders like those leaders that are coming up in Central Africa, part of Western a little bit, the Burkina Fasos, if we get such leaders, if we get 20 leaders like those ones, the way they think like that, then we are going to transform Africa. So that's why I'm really supporting South Africans to support Julius Malema, because that guy is a no-nonsense man. He's smart, eloquent, and he knows what he's doing. If you go through his manifesto, he has outlined very well his leadership and what he wants to do for South Africans. This guy is not selfish. This guy is out to remove the South Africans from bondage. He wants to improve the economy of South Africa. I'm just praying to South Africans, please, on 29th of May, vote in the EFF team. Let them come and transform South Africa. Go through their manifesto and go to the ANC's manifesto. Compare those two manifestos. Because the ANC, since independence until today, they had enough. It's time that South Africans say enough is enough. Let's have change. It's good to change. It's good to give leaders who are visionaries, leaders who are ready to fight for South Africans, who are ready to fight for the black person. We have been in bondage for a very long time. Our forefathers suffered. Our fathers have suffered. Is it a must that we suffer and we leave for our children to come and suffer again? South Africans, my message to you, please vote the EFF into power. Let us see what EFF have to offer. But I believe they are coming to remove you from the economical bondage that you are in. Yes, South Africa economically, compared to these other African countries, they are well. But if EFF takes over, they will be better. I'm rooting for EFF because I believe South Africa is an economic powerhouse of Africa. Nigeria is another country that if they get good leadership and they improve their economy with the population, with all the things, the natural resources that Nigeria has, those are countries that are supposed to be supporting these small other African countries. So my message to South Africans, please let us bring EFF to power. I'm very sure we will not regret. As I've said, the wave of change is sweeping through Africa. Let South Africa not be left out. Thank you very much, and please remember to subscribe, and let's make Africa great again. Thank you very much.